Om Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us today. So, we continue with Damodara Lila and the wonderful verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th chapter of the 10th canto. And we're at text number 9 of this chapter.
Ulu Kalanke Rupari Vyavastitam Markaya Kamam Radatam Sichistitam Hayangavam Churya Vishanki Dikshanam Nirikshya Paschas Sutam Agamakchane. Krishna at that time was sitting on an upside down wooden mortar for grinding spices and was distributing milk preparations such as yogurt and butter to the monkeys as he liked. Because of having stolen, he was looking all around with great anxiety, suspecting that he might be chastised by his mother Yashoda. Upon seeing him, very cautiously approached him from behind.
Exciting times. Yashoda cautiously, so as not to slip on the buttery remnants, because he left a lot of remnants everywhere, follows Krishna's footprints down the stairs towards the courtyard. So she's seen him, she's seeing what he's doing, she sees him sitting on the mortar, distributing the butter to the monkeys, eating a little bit himself. Although Krishna is the intelligence of the most intelligent, he mistakenly sat with his back to the house, giving his mother the added advantage of sneaking up on him. So his back was to the house. He was seated on that mortar, distributing very happily to his monkey friends. As mother came into the courtyard, she noticed her husband's jeweled walking stick against the wall. He must have forgotten to take it. She grabbed the stick, thinking,
I will not hurt him, but I will give him a good scare.
So this is taking it up a level. She'd never picked up the stick before. Krishna was alerted that mother was coming. The monkeys ran for it. They could see Yashoda Mai. And in this way, Krishna became alerted. There you go. He's sitting on this mortar, nicely distributing. His back is to the courtyard door. Mother coming with the stick at him. He spun round, saw his mother with the stick. He was shocked. He did a double take. Did she really have a stick in her hands? He knew that punishment was inevitable, but a stick? She had used a stick previously to chase away the monkeys and herd the cows, but never to discipline him. Is she really coming, threatening me with a stick? Jumping from the mortar and landing on his chubby feet, Krishna had another look at his mother. Was this all real? Is she really coming at me with a stick? So we can do another verse as well today.
Verse number 9. Tamathayaste prashamikshya satvaras tato vyaru yapasa sasrapi tavar Gopiyan vadanayam apayoginam shamam pravistum tapasyaritam manaha. Translation. When Lord Shri Krishna saw his mother, stick in hand, he very quickly got down from the top of the mortar and began to flee as if very much afraid. Although yogis tried to capture him as Paramatma by meditation, desiring to enter into the effulgence of the Lord with great austerities and penances, they failed to reach him. Mother Yashoda, thinking that same personality of Godhead Krishna to be her son, began following Krishna to catch him.
Very interesting verse, this. Yogis meditate for very, very long periods of time, trying to reach the Supreme Lord, but they can't do it. They fail to reach him. But Mother Yashoda, not a yogi, but Krishna is in her heart, so she caught him, managed to catch him.
Prabhuji, sorry, I drew on the screen.
Sorry?
Prabhuji, I drew on the screen mistakenly.
No,
It's
there's no
okay.
drawing.
We didn't see anything.
That's okay, don't worry. She was carrying a stick and he ran, as did the monkeys who were all scampering up the nearest tree. There you go. There's Krishna. There's Mother Yashoda with the stick there. Krishna's running away. The demigods and sages who were fortunate to witness this scene looked on in wonder, mesmerized by the collage of Krishna's transcendental beauty, abode, and pastimes. Although there are many incarnations and deities throughout the universe, none could compare to the charm of this child. The demigods conversed amongst themselves.
Is Krishna really afraid or just running as if he were afraid?
There you go. He's looking back. Mother's still behind him. Extraordinary. For the crime of stealing fresh butter, the Supreme Lord is being threatened by a stick-wielding gopi. Moreover, he who is feared by demons and demigods alike is running away in fear of her.
In this land of Gokul, there is no chance of pretense for even the Supreme Lord. The law of sweetness dictates that he behaves like an ordinary child.
We must therefore conclude he is full of fear. That is what the demigods concluded. So is he in fear of Mother Yashoda? He's the Supreme Lord. Everybody is scared of him. But because he has come under the control of his devotee, he is scared. He is feeling that parental affection towards him. That's what he wants. That's what he's got. So this fear is real fear. It's not like he's pretending. This is the Supreme Person. He can do both. He can be the Supreme Lord. He can be a child at the same time and enjoy the mood of being a child and still be the Supreme Controller. This is the inconceivable nature of Krishna, God. He can do this. This is a really nice painting where the Yashoda's practically caught him. Such a display of emotion may be bewildering even to the learned, but the Lord's associates say Krishna is possessed by thoughts of fear. What to speak of the demigods? Krishna was bewildered by his own conduct. Why am I running away? Even the yogis who meditate on me, through excruciating penances and over a long time, yet I personally remain far from them. If they cannot catch me, why should I fear this gopi? Krishna answered his own question.
Because she holds the secret of unconditional love, that love can control, catch, and punish me.
The demon Kalayaban would run after Krishna, never to reach him because of his sinful ways. Yashoda Mai was not sinful, but was pure and loving. From Kalayaban, Krishna walked leisurely, but from Yashoda, he had to run. Such a contradiction, but that contradiction is reconciled because of the mood of the personality who is chasing the Lord. That said, Yashoda Mai was still a good distance from Krishna. Although the force of her loving desire bridled him, neither could she catch him and neither could he escape. It was a tug of war in which they were, for the time being, evenly matched. So she would run faster, he would be a little bit further away. She would slow down, he would be a bit closer. No matter how hard, how much they tried, mother and son remained one arm's length, one arm's distant, never any closer, never any further. Run as she might, she could get no closer. Run as he might, he could get no further. Yashoda Mai called out to Krishna,
Stop running, stop, you thief and liar. How dare you run from your mother? Stop where you are.
Slowing somewhat, but keeping his distance, he turned and called over his shoulder, I will stop if you drop the stick. If you, okay.
If you are afraid of punishment, then why did you break my butter churn and ransack my storehouse?
I will never do it again. Please drop the stick. However, Yashoda Mai was intent on catching him. So he tried another approach with long wailing sounds and showers of false tears. He publicized his tale of woe, thinking that mother will be intimidated if I attract the attention of the neighbors. But mother was not intimidated in the least, continued to chase her darling boy, even making it known to him of her intentions with a whoosh whoosh of the swinging cane. After chasing Krishna for, it seems, ages, Yashoda Mai was tiring, sweat pouring down her cheeks, her hair loosened. But Krishna was also tiring, thinking, where is the shelter for me in this world? He called out in distress. Please drop that stick. Do not punish me with it. If you drop it, I will come to you. Okay, so that's a good place, I think, to stop. Oh, we still got a lot of time, actually. Let's do one more verse.
So verse 10. Avanchamana janani brihachala shroni parakrantagati sumadhyama javena vishramsita kesha bandhana chuta prasunanu kati param misrat. Translation: by following Krishna, Mother Yashoda, her thin waist, overburdened by her heavy breasts, naturally had to reduce her speed. Because of following Krishna very swiftly, her hair became loose, and the flowers in her hair were falling after her. Yet she did not fail to capture her son. Yet she did not fail to capture her son Krishna.
Mm-hmm. Considering her own fatigue and his pitiful plea, Yashoda Mai made it as if to throw the stick away, while actually hiding it behind her. And she exclaimed,
I have thrown it away.
Krishna was deceived. He slowed, and by turning towards her, slowed even more. The Yashoda Mai still running at full speed. The mystical arms distant vanished. She managed to wrap her right hand around his right wrist and triumphantly said,
Now you're caught, rascal.
There you go. Caught him. She tricked him. Touching Krishna gave Yashoda Mai ecstatic feelings, unattainable by prayers of Brahmans, the speculation of jnanis or meditation of yogis. Krishna was now arrested by the glorious love of Yashoda. Initially, Brahma and Shiva were upset to see Krishna exhibit fear of his mother. And now they were completely bewildered to see her capture him. If Krishna was so susceptible to a gopi, how could he really protect them? Krishna whimpered, Mother, please do not beat me. Wow, you're going through these verses quick, huh? Let's do this one as well.
Verse 11. Itagasam tam parudantam akshini kashantam anjamasini swapanina udvikshamanam payaviva lekshanam haste kritva pishayanti avagurat. Translation: when caught by Mother Yashoda, Krishna became more and more afraid and admitted to being an offender. As she looked upon him, she saw that he was crying, his tears mixing with the black ointment around his eyes. And as he rubbed his eyes with his hands, he smeared the ointment all over his face. Mother Yashoda, catching her beautiful son by the hand, mildly began to chastise him.
He started emanating a stream of sweet, indescribable words, which were nectar to the ears of Yashoda Mai. Fully realizing he was helpless in her mother's grip, his mumbling transformed into sobs. Yashoda Mai thought,
in his disturbed condition, this boy is likely to do anything. He is so strong-willed that he may even run away into the forest. Better I secure him to an immovable object until he is composed. I will tie him down, she thought, unless he surrenders and calms down.
Krishna wasn't ready to surrender yet. He tested Yashodamai's grip, but she held him tight. He remained unwilling to admit guilt, but his courageous facade was betrayed by his tears. He was afraid. Yashodamai kept trying to look at his face, but whenever she did, Krishna turned away, and with his free hand, he wiped the remnants of yogurt from his mouth and body, thinking that the less evidence, the better, and perhaps her punishment would be reduced. Finally, Mother had enough of his antics and exposed the stick she was hiding. She waved it in front of him and said,
"Do you see this, king of rascals? If you do, then do not try to run away again."
Krishna was shocked. She had cheated. She still had the stick. He felt betrayed. The commotion was attracting the Vrajavasis, who was starting to converge. Krishna felt increasingly humiliated. He was the leader of the boys and held a position of respect amongst them. Were the boys to appear now, he would become the butt of their jokes and be dishonored as their figurehead. With so many thoughts and emotions going through him, Krishna felt overwhelmed. And after all, he was just a little boy. And he did what little boys began to sob uncontrollably. He tried unsuccessfully to conceal himself in the fold of his mother's sari, but she would have none of that. She would mildly push him away. Yashodamai's indifference to Krishna was a new feature in this relationship between mother and son. Krishna was expecting something else. He was expecting the warmth of touch and kindness of love with which mother always wiped away his tears. But that was in the past. He had crossed all limits in his behavior, and she wanted him to learn to take responsibility for his acts. Although seeing his sad demeanor, Yashodamai almost succumbed to her maternal nature, but the importance of educating him restrained her. She started calling him all sorts of names.
Oh, Ashanta, which is the restless one. Roshagrashta, one who's swallowed by anger. Mukta Prakta, greedy one. Vanarpriya, friend of the monkeys. Vanarpriya, sorry. Griha Lubdaka, house thief. Why have you brought ill fame on your lineage with such bad qualities?
Krishna was hurt. Why did she have to call him names like friend of the monkeys? Yashodamai continued.
To teach you a lesson, I'm going to tie you up. And for the time being, you cannot play with your toys or your companions. I will also deny you butter and yogurt, friend of the monkey. Reform and stop your mischief. If you ever again want to steal from the house, then remember the stick. Having said all that, Yashodamai let the stick fall to the ground. Krishna breathed a sigh of relief that the stick was not in her hand, but he was miffed by her comments again regarding being friend of the monkeys and also being denied any butter or yogurt. So we can stop there at number 12. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Damodara Lila ki jai. Any questions, any comments, anything anybody like to share about Damodara Lila, specifically perhaps what we've discussed today? Incredible pastime. Okay, so Damodara Lila ki jai.